Hello and welcome to Mecklenburg Matters. I'm Suzanne Stevens. If you surveyed all the service providers who deal with domestic violence in our county for a week, what would the results look like? Well, the Domestic Violence Advisory Board found out and then presented the results at an event entitled DV Snapshot. Charlie Cowens attended and files this report.
We've just lost two women within this month, through domestic violence issues. So it's continuing to happen, but we just have to continue to pound the pavement and being strong and providing that public awareness.
And providing that public awareness is what the Mecklenburg County Domestic Violence Advisory Board does.
It's really important because we know that 1 in 3 teens will experience teen dating violence, and so it's really important that we reach out to teens and let them know about this issue so they know how to help get the resources for themselves and for their friends.
Melissa is from a UNC Charlotte organization, but there were many other organizations here as well.
Enough.
This event at the Levine Museum of the New South was called DV Snapshot, a community conversation. It's a local version of a national survey that looks at a specific day to see the impact of domestic violence.
Why don't we take that idea and bring it to Mecklenburg County and start counting all of the amount of real services, the amount of time, the amount of financial resources that goes into helping stop this problem of domestic violence in Mecklenburg County.
The DV Snapshot looked at 1 week and how local agencies dealt with the problems here. That was a jumping off point for service providers to explain the difficulties they are facing.
As you can imagine, we're really just trying to keep up, and we can't do as much to engage families as we would otherwise.
Although domestic violence is a difficult problem, Lamia Bowen says we are slowly making progress and has this advice for everyone.
To be proactive within their community, to feel empowered to do something about this systemic problem. It's a systemic problem and we want someone to do something about it.
For Mecklenburg Matters, I'm Charlie Cowens.
Thank you very much, Charlie. Now, you know the Domestic Violence Advisory Board is just one of many advisory boards in Mecklenburg County. Would you like to know more? Well, just go to mecklenburgcountync.gov. Not only can you find a board that interests you, but you can also submit your application right there on the website. And there is plenty more, including news and services, all in one very convenient place on the web. I'm Suzanne Stevens. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Mecklenburg Matters.
The 1950s and 60s were turbulent times in Mecklenburg County. In 1957, 4 black students embarked on a journey that changed the course of Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools. These brave young people endured threats and violence as they broke through the crowds on their way to Harry Harding High School, marking the start of school integration. The pioneering efforts of these students, along with those from Johnson C. Smith University, who held anti-segregation sit-ins at many Charlotte lunch counters, helped make it possible for me to become the first African-American admitted to Clemson University and the first black mayor of Charlotte.
In celebration of our 250th birthday, this Mecklenburg Minute tells our story. Tell us your story at mecklenburg250.org.
Welcome right now to Mecklenburg Matters. I'm Suzanne Stevens. Statistics show it is a problem that is only getting worse. Several hundred homeless veterans are now living right here in the Charlotte area. For the past several years, Mecklenburg County has stepped up to offer the help they need. Jeremy Mills has the story.
It's an opportunity for Mecklenburg County to give back to our military heroes. The annual Veterans Stand Down is intended to provide assistance to the hundreds of homeless veterans living in the area.
It's a chance for the community to come out and show the veterans that we care about them and to show them all the services that are available.
At the Stand Down, these veterans can receive counseling services, housing referral assistance, medical and dental care, and even a hot meal provided by the Marine Corps League.
Well, our vets are important to us. Evidently, there's not enough people taking care of them, so we're trying to help them out. Take one day and treat them like they're human beings and feed them, and just generally show somebody cares.
We're seeing a lot more families. We're seeing a lot more female veterans. And so this year we've got a female veteran area, and we've tried to market it a little bit toward the female veterans.
I feel good about helping these young women that are coming out, because a lot of them have been in combat. Life going on, and we're in need of so much help. So, I really appreciate it. It's such a big blessing.
Army veteran Sherry Paulk has been homeless for the past 4 years.
There's a lot of us out there that really need help, and we're not seen as the ordinary homeless person. This means a lot to me, especially for the women vets. There's so many programs for the men, but there's not as many for the women.
Mecklenburg County loves our veterans, and we try to take care of them.
For Mecklenburg Matters, I'm Jeremy Mills.
Thanks a lot, Jeremy. And thanks also to everyone who participated in the Vet Stand Down. Did you know that the county has a department that helps veterans navigate through the federal process to get the benefits they earned? Well, it's called Veterans Services, and you can find it along with every other county department on the web at mecklenburgcountync.gov. Just click on the Departments tab at the very top of the page. That's Mecklenburg Matters. Thanks a lot for watching. I'm Suzanne Stevens.
Migrants from Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Virginia made their way to our area in the 1730s. To conduct any sort of legal business, the settlers had to travel more than 30 miles. So in 1762, permission was sought and won to form Mecklenburg County, named after the birthplace of Queen Charlotte. The original county was 4 times larger in size than modern Mecklenburg County. On February 26, 1763, court was held for the first time at the home of Thomas Spratt, signifying the birthday of Mecklenburg County.
In celebration of our 250th birthday, this Mecklenburg Minute tells our story. Tell us your story at mecklenburg250.org.
Hi, and welcome to Mecklenburg Matters. I'm Suzanne Stevens. The number of children being raised by a family member, particularly grandparents, has increased significantly over the past few years. Our Department of Social Services assists through their Family Caregiver Services program. Social worker Laverne Weathers spoke to several kinship caregivers who were raising their grandchildren, and here are their stories.
I have 5 grandchildren, ages 17, 12, 11, 8, and 7. I hope I got them all in there. I knew that my income would not sustain the children, so I had to first make sure that I could provide for these children. I made a conscious decision that we would all live together regardless. If we had to live in a 2-bedroom apartment, we would definitely all stay together. I wanted the children to be stable and not confused about life itself, because we were going through certain things with mother. I was going through things with their father as well. I didn't have support from mom or from dad, so I didn't really want the children to become involved in their lives. So what I did, I took a stand, and my stand was to go to court to get emergency custody of my grandchildren. If you want to be a caregiver, do it from your heart, because the monetary gain and everything is not going to come until you see those children march across that stage.
I am raising my grandson Montrez. He is 11 years old. He has been with me since he was 2 years old. At that time, I was told that the mother, which is my daughter, had a plan that she had to work. If she worked her plan and everything was acceptable in the courts, that Montrez would be able to go back home with her. And she did not work her plan. What led me to you, I had been praying about it and said, I do not want my support group to stop. My intention as a grandparent was to pick him up, take him out to the movies, take him out, fill him up with sugar, and take him home. But that's not what happened. I was not able to be that kind of grandmother. Montrez is a child. So I had to let my daughter know that I love her and will do what I can for her, but my main priority is Montrez. I did some counseling for him and was always just trying to let him see that not all families are just mom and dad and children. That sometimes families is aunt, sometimes family is grandparent. Everything is not the same, but it can be good. DSS has been a very big help for me. I see something different than what I was told at the beginning. I see your agency opening their arms, letting me know that it's going to be okay. We're there for you.
I drove all night long to get to Baltimore, and I was up all that day from meeting to meeting, and we went to court. And that was the first time I got to see her. She said, but your daughter decided to give up for adoption. I said, oh no, and nobody's adopted my baby. Maryland asked me, they said, will you be able to take this child without a dime? And I said, I don't want any money. I said, just give me Medicaid so I can take care of her if she gets sick. The grandparent support group helped me through a lot. When I joined that group, I found out there were grandparents going through more than what I was going through worse things than that I was going through. But when that baby come to you and say, good morning, mommy, how you feel this morning? You forget all about all that stuff about being tired. You get up and fix that breakfast and try to do whatever you can for that child because you know that child is a part of you.
Well, when I got custody for Sanaya, I got lost in the court system and it took me 3 years to get custody of her. We don't have a whole lot of money to spend. What we do, we try to get scholarship to help us out, certain things. And then we might bake some cakes or pies, but you know, raise the rest of the money. Oh yes, me and her, we will fall out about the small things, but we still love each other.
Well, I love to dance, and I go to Northwest School of the Arts. I think that I help the children. I think they enjoy it a lot, and I do too. At the end of the program things, they just go home happy with a lot of joy. It's like if you're living with a foster parent or something, that's your family. You have a family. Just as long as you have a family, they'll care for you.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
A big thanks to all of those who have taken on this incredible responsibility of raising their grandchildren. Now, if you're looking to become a foster parent, the best place to start is mecklenburgcountync.gov. There is a huge need. Also, you can check out the most popular services under quick links or click on MecTube for the latest videos on county government. And hey, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook. All in one place, mecklenburgcountync.gov. Thanks for your attention. And now you know Mecklenburg Matters. I'm Suzanne Stevens.
Mecklenburg County Park and Recreation isn't just great parks.
Working out to stay fit.
Hitting the greens.
Exploring our county's nature preserves.
Playing for the team.
Or celebrating life's most important moments.
It's all these things and more. Visit parkandrec.com to discover the adventures waiting for you through Mecklenburg County Park and Recreation. It's the natural place to be.
I'm Suzanne Stevens, and I want to welcome you to Mecklenburg Matters. It's a job that often goes unnoticed, but the duties of a property appraiser are far more intricate than you might think. We got the chance to tag along on a typical day for a Mecklenburg County appraiser. Jeremy Mills reports.
Today we're going to head out to areas in South Charlotte. We're going to measure a few new houses.
Brad Fowler spends about 7 hours a day driving through the neighborhoods of Mecklenburg County.
We're going down towards Brackenberry into a small subdivision that's just been created. There's about 10 to 15 homes. Need to measure a couple of them today just to ensure that we get them listed for the 2014 tax year.
Over the past 8 years, his workday consists of measuring and then more measuring. He likes to round off to the nearest foot.
And typically what I do is I try to err on the lower side, and that way we're sure that we're not overstating anything.
Each of the measurements are then transcribed into the property record card and used to sketch an outline of the home.
And so when you initially start drawing these things, or I did anyway, my drawing would stop about 10 foot short every time. I mean, I was way off, but as you do it, you become more familiar and it gets a little bit easier, obviously.
Fowler has appraised as many as 20 homes in a day. These days, he's also dealing with appeals.
In 2011, we had a little over 40,000 appeals. And when you have 20 some odd appraisers, 40,000 appeals is a whole lot to handle.
Fowler says he routinely works in mud and extreme weather, and he's had run-ins with dogs and fire ants. But he says he loves this job and loves helping others.
Customer service is first and foremost at what we're doing right now. We are really concentrating and putting a boots on the ground approach to the assessment in Mecklenburg County. We're making calls that are affecting people's lives, and we want to make sure that we're putting the information in correctly. When we call that customer, we're talking to them and giving them a good, clear explanation as to what we're doing and why.
For Mecklenburg Matters, I'm Jeremy Mills.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. Did you know that if you have a renovation for your own home that requires a building permit, you can now do that online, get that permit? For more information, go to mecpermit.com. Whether you're an architect, a contractor, or if you're the homeowner yourself, this is the place to connect to code enforcement, from planning to completion of a project. Again, it's mecpermit.com. Thanks so much for watching. And now you know Mecklenburg Matters. I'm Suzanne Stevens.
"50 years ago, in 1963, my family and I took our first trip to see the huge new lake that was built by what was then Duke Power. We stood in awe at the vastness of Lake Norman, the largest lake in North Carolina. An important power source, the lake has become a recreational draw and an economic driver. With an identity all its own, Lake Norman is home to 75,000 people and has 520 miles of shoreline. So what lies under Lake Norman? Davidson College is currently archiving photographs and stories about the creation of the lake. Certainly, its beauty and amenities make Lake Norman a special part of Mecklenburg County.
In celebration of our 250th birthday, this Mecklenburg Minute tells our story. Tell us your story at mecklenburg250.org.
Welcome to Mecklenburg Matters, everybody. I'm Suzanne Stevens. October 10th was World Mental Health Day, and here locally, mental health professionals and volunteers have launched a new campaign to get us talking about ending the stigma surrounding mental illness. Joe Travis and Gary Black captured the sights and sounds from our local events.
MechLink Behavioral Health Care. Our voice, our lives, our community.
On Thursday, October 10th, Mecklenburg County joined in the celebration of World Mental Health Day. The theme of the day was to encourage us all to take the pledge to end stigma. Events featuring local elected officials, mental health professionals, advocates, and volunteers were held all across Uptown Charlotte.
We're glad to have you here today because what our purpose is to get all of Charlotte talking about mental health and mental wellness. You're going to be able to see a campaign that the MHA has produced called Mental Health Matters, It's Time to Talk. We also want you to take 2 minutes of your time to join our campaign by adding your name to our pledge wall and making a brief statement about what you will do to help end the stigma. 2/3 of those experiencing mental health issues don't seek treatment because of the stigma connected with it. People with mental illness should feel no differently about seeking treatment than people with cancer or heart disease or high blood pressure should.
But this affects so many people in our community. It affects every level all over the whole county, all over the whole city. So let's all join together and be supportive of people with mental health challenges, and let's encourage them to get the help they need so they can have a wonderful quality of life here in Mecklenburg County and in the city of Charlotte. Yay!
As for myself, it is personal. I myself have been challenged with my son having a diagnosis of mental illness for over 20 years and have been involved in the mental illness system here in Mecklenburg County that amount of time. Even though my background is a healthcare provider, I'm a registered nurse with a Bachelor of Science degree in nursing. I still could not manage the challenges that I was faced alone to care for my son. So I dare you and I challenge you to take the pledge. Thank you.
Along with the action, the color, the dance mobs, and music, a new video was premiered to remind us that stigma is the #1 reason people don't get the treatment they need to help begin their journey towards recovery.
3, 2, 1, play!
In the past, I've felt sometimes embarrassed.
Fear, like I couldn't do anything. It was very overwhelming.
I went into a deep state of depression.
I have bipolar disorder.
I have depression.
I suffer from anxiety. It was really hard to talk about.
In my family, we never talked about those things.
Something I've been afraid to talk about for a long time.
In the same way that if you have a physical issue, you break an arm or you sprain an ankle, you go get help.
Stigma.
Stigma.
Stigma. Stigma is the #1 reason that people do not get the help that they need to begin their journey towards recovery.
It's okay to need help with mental health issues.
It's helped my life tremendously, like, it really has. Just surround yourself with a supporting cast.
Mental health matters. It's time to talk.
Take the pledge today to break stigma, one conversation at a time.
I love you, Graham.
You too can take the pledge to end the stigma surrounding mental illness. Please visit MHACentralCarolinas.org and take your pledge. Or call 704-336-6404.
Okay, we're going to challenge you here. Remember, you can still visit MHACentralCarolinas.org and you take the pledge to help end the stigma. The evidence is very clear. Treatment works. Now, you know, a really good way to keep informed about what your county government is doing is right at your fingertips on the internet. This address, mecklenburgcountync.gov, connects you to county information and services that you can conduct online. Thanks for watching. And now you know Mecklenburg Matters. I'm Suzanne Stevens.
In 1988, I was on the Charlotte Hornets when we played our first game. More than 23,000 fans swarmed into the Coliseum to see the new team play. The Hornets sold out 364 consecutive games at the Hive. Fans had a lot to cheer about with star teammates like Kelly Chapuka, Muggsy Bogues, and later Alonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson. The franchise moved to New Orleans in 2002. In 2004, Charlotte got another team, the Bobcats, who will bring back the buzz by reclaiming the Hornets name next season. Hornets fans were great to me, and I'm proud to say that I still hold several records, including the most three-pointers in Hornets history. DC for 3.
In celebration of our 250th birthday, this Mecklenburg Minute tells our story. Tell us your story at mecklenburg250.org.
Hi everybody, welcome to Mecklenburg Matters. I'm Suzanne Stevens. More than 700 people came together this year to help beautify our community. It's known as the Big Sweep, a one-day cleanup of creeks and lakes all around Charlotte and Mecklenburg County. Jeremy Mills has more.
It's an early Saturday morning and a small army of volunteers are signing up for a big job at the Campbell Creek Greenway off Margaret Wallace Road.
We're recycling. That'll be your clear bag that you have. We don't want anything that's overly caked in mud, styrofoam. Yeah, anything like that we want to just go ahead and put in our regular trash bag.
Welcome to the Big Sweep. It's the annual statewide cleanup of creeks and lakes. The program, which is brought to you locally by Charlotte Mecklenburg Stormwater Services, also brings attention to the need for all residents to protect our streams, creeks, and rivers from various types of refuse and pollutants.
The best part about Big Sweep, I think, is just seeing the entire community come out and all work together on a common goal of getting all of the trash and debris out of all of our creeks and streams.
These volunteers were not lacking in their refuse hunting determination.
Now, what did you guys find there?
Basketball.
And you drove all the way
and
up
a soccer ball.
One team that caught the eye of the creek photographer was a family calling themselves the Green Ninjas.
Well, we like doing a lot of things together, so we saw this in the paper happening, so we decided to do it.
There were, of course, tons of bottles and cans and the occasional odd find, like this propane tank full of gas and a really old water heater, a sleeping bag, and a collector's item, a Hannah Montana air guitar. A new experiment this year is a recycling effort, something that solid waste officials hope will keep more of this waste out of the landfills. When the day was done, volunteers had picked up 29 tons of litter. So even if you didn't get a chance to participate, you can help year-round by keeping an eye out around streams and creeks and do your part so trash won't wash downstream to someone else.
Just making sure that you get all of your trash into your can, your trash disposal mechanism, if it be a dumpster that's at your apartment complex or just the trash bin that you roll out to the curb. If you just make sure that that's all tied up, and then if you're out walking greenways or anything, just pick up that trash that you see laying down. If you see anything on the storm grates along the side of the road, just pick that stuff up. Just making sure that everything gets properly disposed of keeps it from getting into the creeks.
I'm Jeremy Mills for Mech Matters.
Thank you, Jeremy. You know, Mecklenburg County is a leader in preserving our environment. The Land Use and Environmental Services Agency, or LUISA as it's called for short, monitors our air and our water quality. They also operate recycling centers around the county. Would you like to know more? Just go to mecklenburgcountync.gov on the web. This is the best place to connect to your county government. If you need something, if you need services, or you just want to know what your tax dollars are paying for, it's a great resource. Again, check us out on the web at mecklenburgcountync.gov. Thank you for watching, and now you know Mecklenburg Matters. I'm Suzanne Stevens.